Hello and welcome to the Siwi Sofa, where we sit down with some of the most interesting participants at this year's World Water Week to learn more about the array of water-related issues being discussed this week in Stockholm. My name's Eric Paglia, the host of the Siwi Sofa, which is now being streamed live on the Siwi Media Hub, so tune in to that for all the different Siwi Sofa sessions. And the name of this session, the first one this morning, is Mission Bhagiratha, providing clean drinking water across rural Telangana. And we have a very special guest joining us here tonight, just flown in from India last night, Mr. Donna Kishore,
Yes.
the Managing Director of the Hyderabad Metropolitan Water Supply and Sewerage Board. Welcome, Kishore. Very nice to have you here on the Siwi Sofa.
Thank you, Eric. Good morning to all of you.
Yeah,
I'm
welcome
happy
back.
to be here.
Yeah, welcome back to Stockholm.
Thank you.
Perhaps to begin, we can talk about the place you come from, the state of Telangana, which I understand is it's a new state,
Yes.
just formed 3 years ago with a population of nearly 40 million people.
Yeah. Thank you, Eric. I'm very happy to be in Siwi and to talk about my state here. I work for Metro Water Board and Sewerage Board of Hyderabad. We are a very new state. We are part of India as long as it was there. We are part of a state called Andhra Pradesh earlier. This new state was born about 3 years ago in June 2014. The basis for the formation of the state is that developmental needs of the people had to be met in a more democratic manner. So our Chief Minister, Mr. Chandrashekar Rao, is the one who led the movement for a new state. We formed into a new state now. The state is about nearly 40 million people. It is capital is at Hyderabad. Hyderabad city itself is about 10 million people city. And I head Metro Water Sewerage Board, which provides water needs for the city as well as take care of the sewerage. Thank you.
Now, what is the general hydrological conditions there in that region?
Hydrological condition, we get about 750 millimeters of rainfall average in the state. And the city of Hyderabad is also known as city of lakes, basically. We have about 182 lakes in the city. And the center of the city is a lake called Hussain Sagar, which is a beautiful lake. And our city has two lakes earlier, which were called Usman Sagar and Himayat Sagar, where we used to get water. In early 20s, 1920, the city was a part of a princely state called Nizam state actually. So Nizam, the king, has planned for the city water needs, and we used to get water from the lakes. So hydrologically we are okay, and we have a lot of water conservation measures going on to improve our hydrology.
Perhaps you can tell us about the Mission Bhagiratha. What led to to it being conceived, and what conditions led to such an ambitious program?
You see, when our state is formed about 3 years ago, one of the needs for us was to go for a separate state for us. One of the developmental needs, water is a very, very important factor for us. We had a lot of diseases because people used to get unprotected water. It was not potable. Fluorosis is very high, the content of fluoride in the water. People, one or two districts called Nalgonda district's name is, people used to get fluorosis basically. Their limbs used to get deformed and all that. Our leader, Mr. Chandrashekar, who is the Chief Minister now, has seen all these things. And the first, three issues which we have to settle, development needs, is that power, water, and irrigation water basically. Power, we are self-sufficient now. We are able to produce power. And irrigation, we have a huge program going on called Mission Bhagiratha to provide water for every acre of land, irrigated land. And then water is very important, as you know that. And as 40 million people is too huge a population for us to ignore them. So our Chief Minister has designed this program. This program comes out of the fact that as a legislator in his own legislative assembly called Siddipeta, he has done it for about 3 lakh people, is about 300,000 people designed a program about 20 years ago. That program became a fulcrum for this program because that was very successful. And he tried to replicate that program now. The program called Mission Bhagiratha, its main aim is to provide a protected water supply, pipe supply for household connection for each and every household in the state of Telangana. We are about 85 lakh households are there, out of which about 20 lakh households are in urban areas and about 60 lakh households in rural areas. So the main aim is to provide protected water supply to the people, and is also part of SDG 6 basically, Sustainable Development Goal 6, is to provide sustainable water for people for drinking and sanitation by 2030. But we, as a state of, as a newest state of the country, we are proud to tell you that by 2019 end, we will be able to provide water to everybody. By 2018 end, we are aiming actually to provide household connections. Maybe it will take a little bit more time. And we will be the SDG 6 state by 2019, I think, which is a great achievement.
Okay, it's very impressive.
Yeah.
Could you perhaps talk a bit about the different finance options that the government has for
Yeah.
Mission Bhagiratha?
Finance options, before going to that, I'd like to say this basically. I'd like to little elaborate on how Mission Bhagiratha is going to work actually. Mission Bhagiratha actually taps water from two major rivers called Krishna and Godavari, which flow through our state. And this project, combines the infrastructure that was already laid earlier. We have about 60,000 kilometers of lines available, water pipelines available. We have some reservoirs in the state. And we are going to lay a new pipelines, about 1 lakh, that's about 1 lakh means that, 0.1 million square kilometers, 0.1 million kilometers of lines we are going to provide. So this is going to, combine both the things and make it a water grid, we are calling it. It's called a water grid. A separate corporation was formed. It's called Telangana Water Corporation. That corporation is looking after this. This water will be tapped from two different rivers, I told you, Krishna, Godavari. And then that will be taken to 19 intake structures. Intake wells are built up basically. In that it is taken up. And then the water is pushed through the distribution lines and transmission lines. Our transmission lines are about 49,000 kilometers of transmission lines. And about 51,000 kilometers of distribution lines are there. These all will be supplied to something like a 35,000 mini reservoirs, water reservoirs. Water is pumped there, and then to each household, water will be given. So this is in a nutshell about the kind of a project we are taking up. It's a very humongous kind of project. It's being monitored very closely. And in fact, we have cameras set up and a live working of the reservoirs, how the things are happening there is being monitored by us. This is regarding finances you asked about. This costs anywhere about $7.5 billion is costing us. In rupee terms, it will be about 51,000 crore rupees we are spending. It roughly comes about $7.5 billion. Much of it is coming from our state budget. Some of it we're taking it as a loan. Some of it we're taking an annuity mode also, annuity financing from different private players. We're going to repay them back basically. So this is about financing. And the project is in a very good, fast progress now.
What's the reaction been of the population?
Oh, it's been tremendous actually. I mean, it's a very good reception. In fact, we have already commenced, some segments are already commenced. There are about 26 segments that are happening. One segment has already been inaugurated by Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi. And it's a huge reception by people basically. People who used to run around for water, stand in the queues for a longer period of time. It's a less burden for women. It's wholeheartedly accepted by the people. There's a huge appreciation is there. And the water is provided for schools, hostels where children live, and then also households, and also industries. Now, industry is very important because the maintenance cost of this project is going to be very huge actually. It will be about, anywhere about $400 million per year. This money we are going to get by cross-subsidizing with industries basically. The water, once it's available, it will aid us in economic development, because right now industries are clustered around our capital city. But once this project is through, we will be able to provide nearly about 300 million, 0.3 million kiloliters of water per day only for industry. And that we're going to charge them higher amount of rates. And that's going to return a lot of money for us. And also for commercial utilization of this water is what is going to come to us. And that money will be running through O&M, operation maintenance costs for us basically. There is tremendous amount of reception for this project. And also we are laying, as I told you, nearly about 100,000 kilometers of line we are laying. That means that we are digging up lines. And each pipeline for transmission is about 3.6 meters in diameter basically. So when we are going for such a huge lines of digging lines in earth, we are also using to lay our optic fiber lines there. We are laying our optic fiber grid we are laying there, so that this becomes not only a kind of transmission and distribution of water, it also becomes a tool for software development and how connection, an IT connection or multi-fiber, optic fiber connection for each and every household. This is going to be a multi-pronged kind of approach we are taking there. is going to be one of the most important tools for our development. For health front, we are going to reduce disease burden, sanitation issues we are going to take care, we are going to provide potable water. On economic front, we are going to provide, as I told you, industry is going to get water for us, and our industrial corridors are set up in such a way that they come along all these lines. And finally, as I told you, optic fiber is a thing, multimedia, social media, and internet access for people, smart businesses, everything are going to develop on this one. So this is going to be one of the important fulcrums of our development in our state, along with power we are able to provide, and irrigation water we are going to provide.
This enjoys, it sounds like it enjoys very, very strong political support. It's part of a longer-term vision of development for the state.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Because you see, this kind of program, this kind of a huge scheme, cannot be a part of a bureaucratic kind of a venture unless it has a political support. It has come with a full political support, and it has come from the people's needs basically. People want water. That's the first issue a government has to give. And that's what our political leadership has decided and is able to provide that.
Oh, very good. And what about the city of Hyderabad in particular? Is there any particular issues that go into that, along with the urban and rural aspects you described?
City of Hyderabad, I tell you, is about 400 years old city. It's one of the world's richest cities at point of a time. In about 1920s, our city was the richest city basically. In fact, people from all over the world comes to see in 1850s and 60s. This is going to be, it's a very famous city, and we have a huge a monuments called Charminar, which is famous world over. And this city is right now is fast expanding. Is one of the IT hubs of India basically, and also an industrial hub. And the city of Hyderabad used to have a population in 1970s about 30 lakh population, which is about 3 million population. It has rapidly expanded. Is one of the huge growth curves in terms of population, as well as an IT infrastructure, as well as industrial front. So right now we have about 10 million population. A city which used to have about 170 square kilometers area is about 1400 square kilometers area now. We have included peri-urban areas also, which were rural areas, are also a part of the city now. So the water needs of the city have grown tremendously, multifold actually. Earlier, we used to get from two reservoirs, as I told you. One is Himayat Sagar and Usman Sagar, which was designed by the Deedan kings. That used to give us water. Right now, we are getting water from Krishna and Godavari river, which are about 150 kilometers outside the city. So we tap water there, bring water into the city, provide water to the city. We have about 20 lakh households, 1 million population. I have about 10 lakh connections, water connections are there. And we have about 250 reservoirs are there which provide water for the city. Daily, I pump something like 430 million gallons of per day water is supplied to the city. And our aim is to, sewerage, another issue is there. Sewerage is also a function of Hyderabad Metro Water Supply Board. And we are able to treat about 700 MLD, million liters per day we are treating. Another 600 MLD is untreated now. We have a river called Musi River which flows across the city. And then in that this wastewater is left out now. But right now we formed a corporation called Musi Riverfront Corporation. This corporation is going to beautify this entire stretch of 30 kilometers of a river in the city, as well as treat the water and let it into the river basically. We are spending about $250 million we are spending on that project now. Right now is on, and maybe in the next couple of years the city, the river will be looking very beautiful. People will be able to recreate there, they come and enjoy their life there basically, and it takes care of our sewerage needs also. So this is in a nutshell about Hyderabad and water needs. But we also have a future plan for Hyderabad basically. We are utilizing about 25,000 metric cubic feet of water per day now, per year now. And by 2048, we expected about around 45 TMC. So we require another 20 TMC of water. So we have plans for that. We are constructing a reservoir nearby Hyderabad, which is a 20 TMC reservoir. It's about 30 kilometers from Hyderabad. Once I construct that reservoir, my future needs of the city are taken care of, and we will be able to get water without spending much on power. Right now, my power bills are very high. They run into something like 1,000 crores, which would be about anywhere about $200 million, in terms of dollars. But when it comes to entire program of Mission Bhagiratha, that's one aspect I forgot to tell you. Mission Bhagiratha as a program is a sustainable program. Basically, it takes very less power to provide water to all these people. Right now, we are able to provide about 20 TMC of water in rural areas. In 2048, it's about 68 TMC water we have to pump in. For this water to pump in, the power costs are very less. It's going to be 235 megawatts of power that's going to be consumed. That because we have designed it in such a way that this corporation, which is headed by our chief minister, has designed the program in such a way that all our reservoirs are kept in the highest points of level, so that water flows by gravity. 95% of water flow will happen by gravity. Only 5% we have to spend money, spend power on that one. So that way, it's a very highly sustainable program also.
You're talking about very long-term plans here. Do you factor in changing climate conditions into these plans?
Absolutely, we did plan for that. Climate change is very important. All governments all over the world have been clamoring and making a lot of issues. A lot of discussions are happening about climate change. Climate change is very important factor in our entire program basically. In case there are two issues for this. One is that we need to conserve water. We have a separate program for that called Mission Kakatiya. Mission Kakatiya used to renovate all our lakes. We are about 33,000 lakes are there all over the state. All these lakes are desilted now. They're brought to their past. They used to be the glory of our state. Basically, they used to provide water for irrigation, water for drinking. Over a period of time, they have become disused. They are not put to much use. They have been silted basically. So all these lakes are being renovated now. So that becomes a sustainable kind of thing because a lake, when it is restored, water tank it's called, when it's restored, it becomes a source for water conservation, a source for irrigation basically, and also a source for recreation basically. So with that mind, Mission Kakatiya is one of the important programs we are doing. There's a lot of appreciation from Government of India for this program. And in addition to that, all our rivers, we are going for huge projects now to stop water wherever it's possible to divert for irrigation basically. And as I have told you, there is a program within Hyderabad itself. It's called Jalabhagyam. Jal means water in our language. So this is to conserve water. What we are doing for water conservation, as a part of looking at future climate changes, we want to conserve water. Water, in the earth, has to be for us, the future bank of water. So we are giving 25% subsidy for people and institutions whoever wants to take up water harvesting structures. Right, this year we started this program, but it's been for a pretty long time it was there. But the kind of subsidies we have started this year. Any institution, governmental or non-governmental institution, residential, college, or any company who wants to set up a water harvesting structures, we are giving 25% subsidy for them. So these are all taking into consideration that the future climate is going to be hard. There's going to be water is going to be the most important rarefied commodity. So we want to take care of those issues. So that issues are taken care.
Mm-hmm. You obviously have a very vast command and intricate detail knowledge over this program. What is your, and also passion, I should add. Obviously, this is really almost the mission of your life. Could you tell us what your actual role is in implementing Mission Bhagiratha?
I worked in various capacities in government of India, basically, in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, earlier state. I worked as a district magistrate in 3 districts. I also worked as a project director for watershed management in one of the very important districts of the state, basically. I used to manage about 900 watersheds, each one having 500 hectares. There I seen the importance of water. If you provide a farm pond, which is about 20 square meters of area, basically, it can irrigate maybe 1 acre of land. Its productivity doubles actually. Even in summer season, people are able to reap the crops. So, and then I also seen wherever you have developed a good watershed program, that also provides for drinking water, irrigation water, and all those things. So this is where my passion lies. Also the fact that I have seen water makes huge difference in people's lives. Their quality, their living standards, their earning capacities are all increasing. And ultimately, whatever water you are conserving is going to, particularly in peri-urban areas, if you can conserve water through a watershed program, it will help the urban areas also because their waterways are protected. We are able to supply water for them. So that has been my passion. And so once I joined as a director of municipal administration and also as in this present capacity as MD Metro Water Board, I have full cooperation of my minister, Mr. Taraka Rama Rao, who is municipal administration minister. He is one of those forward-looking ministers. He's a young gun of the ministers of our country, basically, one of the young guns. So he gave me a lot of encouragement to pursue this goal, actually. So we were able to do a lot of good things in water board also. That's why been my passion. Yeah.
Great. And what are you doing here in Stockholm at the World Water Week?
World Water Week here, I've been here last year also. I've been part of 2-3 teams here. Small Water Ventures is one of the topic by Safe Water Network. Last time I met them here, this year we have started in Hyderabad. They've been given a Safe Water Network and other organization. Though we have a huge water utility, I'm a huge water utility. But at times, people need a small water utility also, so that they'll be able to capture water, they take water wherever they want. So we were able to set up that. That was a very fruitful venture with Safe Water Network. Right now, they are working in Hyderabad. This year, I'm here. Today, I have a conference with the World Bank on water cities for future, basically. How water utilities are going to lead cities for future for water. I'm part of that. And tomorrow, also, I am a part of another group of a Safe Water Network, where Ghana is going to demonstrate us how their small water utilities are helping their people. Maybe I'll be interacting them there.
Oh, very good. Well, Mr. Kishore, thank you very much for joining us here in the Siwi Sofa, and I wish you a productive week here in Stockholm, and best of luck with further implementing Mission Bhagiratha.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you for tuning in to the Siwi Sofa. Stay tuned for more episodes throughout the World Water Week.